Cool, let's do this. So just to show you guys how much I love this game. Oh no. Well, let me see if I can fix that first. I think I need to connect my Xbox to the internet real quick. The reason I'm playing it on the Xbox is this is where all my downloadable content is. I want to make sure I get it because it matters in the later, like Mass Effect 2 and 3, the decisions you make in the Mass Effect 1 downloadable content carries over. So bear with me one sec while I get that back. Yeah, N7 is like, they have a bunch of different ranking designations. Dude, I love this game. We get a little bit further along, I'm going to talk about my the Marstead narrative uncertainty principle and how it relates to this game and how I feel about it. No downloadable content error. Cool. All right. So first, check this out. The only Shepards I've ever made are this one, Marstead, and Melali. I did one that was Paragon, which is like the stereotypical good guy. He follows the rules and regulations. Renegade does what needs to be done. And then the rest of these saves are my friends who were totally welcome to play my Mass Effect save, because most of them didn't have 360s, provided that I got to watch, because I wanted to experience the game as a blind playthrough from other people. So like, and Alex played it. I think Andrea's Shepard is Bunny Shepard. She played, I did full Paragon, she did full Renegade. She did the exact opposite. Marstead, I created a character when I was like 8 years old in a video game, and I knew I typed in Mars to start with, and I just finished it out. It just came out of nowhere. So we're going to start a new career.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
Alright, so we went with female Shepard. This is the default Shepard you see on the screen right now. The graphics in this are still a little behind. Oh, we should do votes for a name. We're not going to do votes for this. We'll do bidding on sphere points. So, what's up, Kat? Why don't you, everyone just type in chat what name you want her to have, and then give a sphere point bet alongside of it, and whoever bids the highest will go with that name. I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick while we wait on that. Barbie, that's like Andrea's bunny name. Anyone else with votes for FemShep's name? We'll see who cares more. Entering Barbie for now. Do you have a suggestion, Kat? Very good. Barbie it is.
Please log in to access your profile.
I think that's the only one I had that was sphere points. Barbie 3000.
Warning, data corruption detected. Please reconstruct profile.
Spacer 1. Both of your parents were in the Alliance military. Your childhood was spent on ships and stations as they transferred from posting to posting, never staying in one location for more than a few years. Following in your parents' footsteps, you enlisted at the age of 18. Cool. Psychological profile.
Psychological profile.
Sending a pull out for this one. And I'll read them all off here. Sole survivor, ruthless, or hero. 2, go, start. Okay, so sole survivor, during your service, a mission you were on went very wrong. Trapped in an extreme survival situation, you had to overcome physical torments and psychological stresses that would have broken most people. You survived while all those around you fell, and now you alone are left to tell the tale. War hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeated the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance fleet. And ruthless. Throughout your military career, you have held fast to one basic rule: get the job done. You've been called cold, calculating, and brutal. Your reputation for ruthless efficiency makes your fellow soldiers wary of you. But when failure is not an option, the military always goes to you first. Yeah, so go ahead and vote 1 for Sole Survivor, 2 for Ruthless, 3 for War Hero. Oh man, Cat with the Ruthless vote. Oh, 3's War Hero. Well, anyway, you get it. It looks like War Hero's taking it right now by 2. One for Sole Survivor, 2 for Ruthless, 3 for War Hero. War Hero's taking it. I'm gonna start the next one. Alright, so the next one is character class. This one, I'll let you know what all of them are. I'll make this one a 2-minute one as well. I'm not going to start the timer until I finish explaining what these are. So think about it like this. Soldier is all combat. It's damage, it's combat, it's weapons. Engineer is all tech. It's like hacking, that kind of a thing. Adept is all biotics, which we'll explain biotics later in the game, but it's basically like force magic. And then these 3 classes are mixes. So Infiltrator is soldier / tech. Sentinel is tech / biotic, so tech / magic basically, and Vanguard is soldier / biotic, or soldier / magic. So Vanguard soldier magic, Sentinel is tech magic, Infiltrator is tech soldier, and then magic, tech, soldier. And the timer has started. Interesting. Looks like Vanguard's taking it right now. Vanguard's a really cool class in Mass Effect 2. They completely overhauled this game. Looks like we're going with Vanguard. I'll let the timer finish out here. Alright. And I'll pick a, let's see. Take sniper rifles. That's from having beaten the game.
Confirm.
So we're going to change appearance. I'm going to make most of these decisions. It would take forever to vote on every single facial feature. The non-dual specs, they each have special abilities, like the pure tech one gets a lot of skills a lot sooner. They're better at those skills, they do more damage with them. Exactly, Cat. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go through and pick all of them. If there's one that you see that you'd like to override, just let me know. Like, speak up and say, hey, I want you to do a different scar, and then we'll figure out which scar it is. Most of them are a little bit more complicated than that. Like, look how many options there are for neck thickness. I'm not going to have people vote on neck thickness. But if you're like, oh, I want you to have that specific hair color or that specific skin tone, let me know. Or facial structure, or that kind of a thing. You can use sphere points for that. She's going to look like this between all the games. I'm going to try to not make her look stupid, because it's pretty easy to screw it up. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. I'll just give you numbers for the scars. Scar 0, which is no scar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go with 10. Neck thickness I'll leave, face size I'll leave. Try not to mess with cheeks because you can make them look really bad. And it's hard to tell from the intro here. I think I like the default eyes. You can make a really derpy looking Shepard if you screw this up. And vote on eye color if you feel strongly about one or the other. Doesn't need a Jay Leno chin. Derpy Shepard versus the Reapers. See, mouth shape. I like that first one. You get a chance to redo some of this in Mass Effect 2 and 3. They you change what your face looks like if you want to. I'll probably keep it the same unless if there's like something that's derpy that we can fix, or maybe we might change the hairstyle a little bit. It's fine. I have, yeah, the Mega Man box art. 2 different nose shapes. Like how big the nose is? Oh, I see. Right, hair. So the hair options are pretty bad in Mass Effect 1. They improve significantly in Mass Effects 2 and 3. You can see the texture's not super great. You only get makeup if you're FemShep. If she needs any blush. Or makeup for them. Or yeah, lipstick. Foxlisk, are you voting for pink hair? Is that an option? Oh, I can't do pink, or I would. Okay, so I'm going to leave it unfinalized for a minute or so to give people a chance. Let me type here. I mean, there's more of like a brownish red is the closest to pink, I think. There's like dirty blonde. Black, dark brown, brown, brownish red, red, dirty blonde, platinum blonde. Ooh, I could do bald. Is pure bald an option? I don't know if it is in this one, but we could do this one. I'm down with Sinead O'Connor, Shepard. I guess if we do Sinead O'Connor, D-Rock, then what hair color should we go with? I hear that, cat. That's this one, Amber Rose. What should we do her eye color then if it's not red hair? Okay. I guess we'll go with this blonde. The dirty blonde I think looks better. The other one's a little bit too intense. So let's go back to the eye color options. There's playing collaborative Barbie dress-up game. There's ice blue, dark blue, like turquoise, light green, light blue, dark blue, violet, dark violet, brown, dark brown, dark brown. We could also change her, let's see, make her skin tone darker. That might work better. Yeah, if it was just me that was raw in control, then I would make her be the redhead with green eyes. So. Massively multiplayer Barbie dolls. You're good. There. Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with this. We're gonna give it 10 more seconds. Split in after I say going thrice. Alright, we'll go red to green. I think that looks nice with the darker skin tone too. From Foxlisk. Done. Let's go. Barbie Shepard. Oh shit, I need to fix her name. I think she's out of space at the beginning of it. Hold on one sec. Still saves all the rest of this, so. Yeah, she totally does. Backspace. Can't have that, you know? I've never seen Pixie Cut Shepard. I'm excited about it. Sold to Owser.
Warning, data corruption detected. Please reconstruct profile. Confirm pre-service. Confirm psychological profile. Confirm military specialization. Confirm facial identification.
Cool, I think I'm happy with that. Barbie Shepard, Spacer, War Hero, Vanguard. Done. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut during, CC auto level? No, absolutely not. I'm going to keep my mouth shut during cutscenes and voice acting, but I'll be talking in between them. If you guys have questions about the story, feel free to ask. I know this game very well, so I'm happy to answer. We're also going to listen to all the codexes to learn more about the game world.
Well, what about Shepard? She's a spacer, lived aboard starships most of her life.
Military service runs in the family. Both her parents were in the Navy.
She proved herself during the Blitz, held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1.
Thrusters, check.
Joker is voiced by Seth Green.
Check. Internal emission sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihlus gave you a compliment, so you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. Only an
Yep, so Joker is Seth Green, who is like Chris from Family Guy, among many other things. Like he's Dr. Evil's son, Scott, in Austin Powers. The other guy, Caden Alenko, is voiced by the guy who played Carth Onassi in Knights of the Republic. So now you get these conversation options just about every time. I'm not going to pull you guys every time we have one, or this was going to take like 100 hours to play through. In general, I'm going to pick the Paragon option. If you pick the top option, that's like you're being nice. If you pick the middle option, you're being neutral. If you pick the bottom option, you're kind of being a dick. You're being like military superiority. So until we get to major choices, I'm just going to be picking this top option. Yeah, I'll pull you guys if one matters. Well, Andrew already said cut the chatter, so I have to give her this one.
That's enough. Your soldiers act like it.
Sorry, Commander.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Alright, so we can make that a rule.
Captain.
We'll try to handle it that way. Like, I'm gonna, rather than wait for everyone to give responses,
Tell Commander Shepard
I'll wait
to
for
meet
this
me in the
dialogue.
comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
Okay, so in general, I'm going to be a Paragon, but we've just established a rule. We can't let our crew get away with bullshit. So, in general, I'll change it to that if we think that the crew's getting away with bullshit.
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
We got some Renegade points. Great. Alright, let's listen to some codexes right at the start.
The Systems Alliance is an independent supranational government representing the interests of humanity as a whole. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of all extrasolar colonies and stations. The Alliance grew out of the various national space programs as a matter of practicality. Sol's planets had been explored and exploited through piecemeal national efforts. The expense of colonizing entire new solar systems could not be met by any one country. With humans knowing that alien contact was inevitable, there was enough political will to jointly fund an international effort. Still, the Alliance was often disregarded by those on Earth until the First Contact War. While the national governments dithered and bickered over who should lead the effort to liberate Shanxi, the Alliance fleet struck decisively. Post-war public approval gave the Alliance the credibility to establish its own parliament.
So, TLDR, humans find this technology on Mars that lets them travel to other planets. They can basically leave their solar system. It's a huge deal. And they form a galactic or a worldwide government called the Alliance, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. The Alliance, it's useless. It's like the United Nations, who cares? But then they run into another alien race, in this case the Turians, who we're going to see more about soon. And after they meet the Turians, they're like, shit, we got to take this world government thing seriously. Like, we're no longer Americans and Europeans, we're humans, and we have to work together.
Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool.
So again, TLDR, first, be blown away that most space settings where humans are out exploring take place way in the future. Like Star Trek is many hundreds of years in the future. This is only in 2157, and one of the things I really like about the Mass Effect series is it says, hey, humans found this technology, and within 30 years they were kicking ass. And I think we see that in our own history, like when we discovered flight, how quickly were we on the moon? Like, I think flight was discovered in 1905, and we were on the moon in 1969. We don't screw around. I think this game does a good job of doing that. Now, the Turian TLDR, the Turians are this race. They're like a military race. They're pretty important. They're one of the 3 most important races. And they were the ones that we had first contact with. We ran into them, and we had a little short battle or war with them that ended quickly. Hey, Burner. So we know that Shepard was born into a military family, traveled around like a military army brat. So traveled around the different planets. We were on this planet when there was a big wave. We were a war hero. We did some self-sacrifice to save the day. Here's some basic timelines. So 2069, we build a human settlement on the moon. 2103, we build a settlement on Mars. We start extracting fuel in 2137. In 2148, we discover these ruins on Mars, and in the ruins we learn about the Mass Effect, which we're going to find out a little bit more later. That's what lets us do interstellar space travel. And then right away from 2149 to 2151, we're already flying all the way around the world. Commander Shepard born in 2154. Shit has gone down. I'll go into more detail on that timeline later.
I'm telling you, I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
He's a Spectre. They're always on a mission.
And we're getting dragged right along with him. Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihlus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans.
Yeah, by choice of the chat.
The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks too. Plus there's Nihlus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, man. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
You don't trust Nihlus?
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War, lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
I was 30.
Remember, we just read about this First Contact War.
Nihlus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board, especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihlus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihlus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Cool. So we learned some new stuff. We got a new codex entry.
Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended.
Right, so TLDR, there's these mass relays all over space that were built by this old civilization called the Protheans, and they let you jump from solar system to solar system without having to travel, because you know, like, the nearest solar system to us is many light years away. We'd have to travel for years in order to reach it. The mass relays let us skip that problem. This is saying that we were out there, we were like looking for mass relays, and we found one and we just turned it on. And all the other racers were like, whoa, what the fuck? You're not supposed to do that, dude. And the Turians came and fought us. And then they were like, oh, that was it. It was just the scouting party. That must be all their defensive forces. But just like Pearl Harbor, we were like, you're fucking with us? Really? We came in and we ruined their shit. And then the council races, the rest of space, came in and saved the day and got us to agree to not kill each other. And I'll read that one later.
I grew up on Eden Prime
Cool, Foxlisk. Thank you. Let me fix that. Sure, let me see what I can do about it. Thank you for the heads up. It's a good time to call it out here, too. So I already have that fixed, so I think I need to fix it in Elgato. And I'm making some adjustments here, one sec. Is the volume improved at all right now?
That's crazy.
Let me turn mine down too.
He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
Yes, please don't, Burner. I'm intentionally not spoiling anything for people in chat because a lot of people haven't played this game. So I know some of that will be changed.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What can you tell me about Nihlus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihlus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihlus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Notice this guy's name is Jenkins. That's intentional.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're a war hero, right? Held off an entire enemy fleet during the Blitz single-handed? That's the kind of talent the Spectres are looking for.
This is all just wild speculation. The Spectres aren't interested in recruiting humans, no matter how capable.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay, so we got some more codex. We learned some more stuff. Humanity's been outside of their solar system for 30 years, and they already have colonies all over the place that are pretty successful. Let's see if there's some primary ones here. Spectres.
Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For many years, they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation.
So galactic politics is complicated. We have these Spectres that are like one-man militaries, basically, that operate outside the law. They can do whatever they want. They carry out the will of the Council, which is like the UN of the galaxy. Notice I say galaxy, not intergalactic. Just about every space opera is set through all of the universe. But this game is just in the Milky Way because there are 100 billion stars in the Milky Way, so there's plenty of worlds and plenty of things to do without leaving the galaxy. Right now, none of the mass relays that people have found take you outside of the Milky Way.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it, really?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown.
You might recognize Captain Anderson's voice. He's in a lot of stuff. He's in Saints Row. He's Flame King from Adventure Time.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir?
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than
Thank you for the follow. It's good to have you.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihlus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the
Remember, there are no
Spectres.
human Spectres. The Spectres are a Council arm, basically, so there's these other three races, the Turians, the Asari, and the Solarians. We're going to learn more about them. The guy in front of us, Nihlus, is a Turian. They're like the warlike race. Or they're more warrior-oriented or military-oriented. Humans are fairly new to galactic government. They've only been outside of their solar system for 30 years, so this would make Shepard the first human Spectre.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihlus will accompany you to observe the mission.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees, galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their Citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans.
The Protheans built this giant structure called the Citadel, where everybody goes to like have their galactic government. That's where the council is. They also built those big key-looking mass relays. They look like a jaw harp. We flew through the one at the very beginning of the game. We don't know how to build those. Only the Protheans did.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
Alright, so the Terminus systems that they mentioned, there's two kinds of space. There's Citadel space, which is like a place that's governed, essentially. And then Terminus systems are these systems that are basically anarchy. The Citadel's not there, they can't provide any government. So all the like criminals and underworld people tend to settle out there.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
I could hear that, Andrew.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander.
The hand thing.
Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihlus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihlus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
Yeah, I think Seth Green's a pretty big fan of Mass Effect, as is the voice of male Commander Shepard, Mark Meer. And yeah, the big ship-looking thing that was way bigger than the other ships. This does look like a Wallmaster. Alright, we got another one. It's about the Protheans.
50,000 years ago, the Protheans were the only spacefaring species in the galaxy. They vanished in a swift galactic extinction. Only the legacy of their empire remains. They are believed to have built the mass relays and the Citadel, which have allowed numerous species to explore and expand throughout the galaxy. Prothean ruins are found on worlds across the galaxy. While surprisingly intact for their age, functioning examples of Prothean paleotechnology are rare. Time and generations of looters have picked their dead cities and derelict stations clean. Some believe the Protheans meddled in the evolution of younger races. The Hanar homeworld of Kadje, for example, shows clear evidence of former Prothean occupation. The presence of a former Prothean observation post on Mars has caused a rebirth of interventionary evolutionists among humans. These individuals believe the god myths of ancient civilizations are misremembered encounters with aliens.
There you go. Protheans, ancient aliens, they're extinct now. They left behind all the technology that we have in use.
The Terminus systems are located on the far side of the Attican Traverse, beyond the space administered by the Citadel Council or claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. It is populated by a loose affiliation of minor species, united only in their refusal to acknowledge the political authority of the Council or adhere to the Citadel conventions. Their independence comes at a price. The Terminus is fraught with conflict. War among the various species is common, as governments and dictators constantly rise and fall. The region is a haven for illegal activities, particularly piracy and the slave trade. At least once a year, a fleet from the Terminus invades the nearby Attican Traverse. These attacks are typically small raids against poorly defended colonies. The Council rarely retaliates, as sending patrols into the Terminus systems could unify the disparate species against their common foe, triggering a long and costly
Again, the
war.
Terminus systems are basically anarchy, so the races that live out there, they don't really work together, they just kind of do their own thing. However, if the Council went and officially tried to take them out, they would all get pissed off and they'd work together to fight the Council, so that's why they don't do it. It's very much a government problem. I'm gonna go Charm, because I think in general I'm gonna have Paragon.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
Smells like
I believe the voice of Caden is also a BioWare fan, because he was Cartho Nassi in Knights of the Old Republic.
Don't worry,
You can shoot them if you choose. Looking for stuff, looking for things. Gotta find the stuff in the chests and the things, girl. No stuff or chests or things. Let's see, what abilities? We have Warp. Damages all nearby enemies and makes them more vulnerable to further damage. And we have Throw. Allows you to throw, it's like a force push, if you're familiar with Star Wars. Those are biotics. We'll learn more about how biotics work later. They basically use Mass Effect, the Mass Effect, which we'll also learn about later. And what's cool about this game is you can pause combat at any time, so it's more like an RPG in that sense. You can pause and reevaluate, re-aim, for example, and come out of pause. Rolling around, taking it all in, you know.
Oh God, what happened here?
That doesn't look good. This is supposed to be a peaceful colony. Alright, Jenkins, I'm gonna need you to be safe and careful. Follow my lead. I agree, Salvucci. I love all 3 Mass Effect games. I think that Mass Effect 2 improved on Mass Effect 1 in a lot of ways, but I felt bad that they made it more shootery. Jenkins, no!
Take out those hostiles! I think we got him.
Poor Leroy. I think the L stands for Leroy.
Ripped right through his shields. They're out of chance.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Get a new codex and see what it was. Oh, cool.
Kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields, provide protection against most mass accelerator weapons. Whether on a starship or a soldier's suit of armor, the basic principle remains the same. Kinetic barriers are repulsive mass effect fields, projected from tiny emitters. These shields safely deflect small objects traveling at rapid velocities. This affords protection from bullets and other dangerous projectiles, but still allows the user to sit down without knocking away their chair. The shielding afforded by kinetic barriers does not protect against extremes of temperature, toxins,
So this is why I love the codexes in this game, man. It makes me so happy that they thought about that, that they're like, yeah, so the shields are set to only go off when they detect something come at you from a rapid velocity, so you don't sit on your chair and your chair goes whoop. That's like, that's so cool that they included that level of thought. They don't have to do it, it's a video game, right? Alright, so we have cool, I'm going to try to TLDR these. We have cool Omni tools that let us make modifications to our equipment on the go. It's like a little tool that pops out of your, they have like you'll see like an orange Omni tool that they have. So they can like quickly 3D print stuff and modify their weapons with these Omni tools, is what that basically says. So this one, talking about starship sensors, says that because sensors are limited by the speed of light, you can't see if somebody's coming to you from a mass relay until they're already there, right? Because it would, if they're like, you know, 1,000 light years away, it would take 1,000 years for information about them to reach you. And once a ship has jumped to FTL speeds, you can't track it anymore because it's faster than light. That's what FTL stands for. Oh shit. Enemy. Oops.
I've got some burned out buildings here, Shepard.
Yeah, I feel like, so the big problem with the sequels is that they got rid of equipment, or they condensed it down, and it needed to be condensed down. The system in Mass Effect 1 is horrible. You'll see later, I'm going to have so much crap that I don't care about in my inventory. It deserved a fix. I think they were a little too aggressive with it in Mass Effect 2.
I'm gonna check
I think
it
that there
out.
is a
I'll try to catch up with you at the dig
fair
site.
compromise between the two that could have been reached. 2 is still an amazing game. Holy shit, I'm excited to get to it. Mass Effect 1 has my favorite scene, my favorite handful of scenes in the series. Notice I don't have ammo, right? We'll explain that. I think we're gonna get a codex about that later that I'll explain. It's pretty cool the way it works. That makes sense, Foxlisk. I like Mass Effect 2. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. That makes sense. It does remove most of the hassle. It would be nice if they left it as an option, like they did with Dragon Age. Whoa, who are these robot dudes? That doesn't look good. Dragon Age basically had combat mode and RPG mode, and that was kind of cool. Let's use Biotic Throw. So that knocked him far away, and then combat is pause now, so I can safely target.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns, nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, ma'am. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might
So
still
we're going
be
to talk
there.
about the Geth and who they are in a bit.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area.
That's
Seemed
not
like
a spoiler,
routine
guys.
patrol
Joker
until the
has
Geth
a
hit us.
condition that we're going to learn
Never
about,
knew they were
like, pretty
coming.
much after this mission.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
Move out!
Alright, let's look at the Codex. What did we learn?
The Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs. They were created by the Quarians 300 years ago as tools of labor and war. When the Geth showed signs of self-evolution, the Quarians attempted to exterminate them. The Geth won the resulting war. This example has led to legal, systematic repression of artificial intelligences in galactic society. The Geth possess a unique distributed intelligence. An individual has rudimentary animal instincts, but as their numbers and proximity increase, the apparent intelligence of each individual improves. In groups, they can reason, analyze situations, and use tactics, as well as any organic race. Geth space is located at the trailing end of the Perseus Arm, beyond the lawless Terminus systems. The Perseus Veil, an obscuring dark nebula of opaque gas and dust, lies between their space and the terminus
Right,
systems.
so TLDR, the Geth were created by this other race, the Quarians, who we haven't learned about yet. But uniquely, they're a distributed intelligence, so if you run into one Geth by himself, he's not very smart. But if there's a bunch of Geth that are near each other, they share their processing among each other and get smarter, which is super cool. And after they kicked out the Quarians, their creators, they now live behind this called the Perseus Veil. It's a nebula of gas, so this big cloud of gas that's kind of blocking you from viewing them in any way. We'll eclipse some of that stuff later. I'm not too worried about it right now. Chest-high walls. Warp. Throw is still on cooldown, but Caden also has throw, so I can command him to do stuff.
Bullseye.
So I did.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Okay.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead.
So I'm finding lots of gear.
I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
It's more than a little bit of work to manage all of it.
Shooting them. There must be some reason behind it.
Classic psychological warfare. They're using terror as a weapon.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
We saw them putting humans on these spikes before.
Oh god, they're still alive.
What did the
Oh
Geth
shit,
do to
space
them?
zombies! Cool stuff.
That door, it's closed. Security locks engaged.
Alright, Simon Says. Right. One sec, I'm gonna set up another pull here. Okay, there's gonna be a doctor here. I'm gonna have an opportunity to punch him because he's acting like a bitch.
Humans.
The next thing to do is not to punch him.
Hurry! Close the door before they come back.
Don't worry. We'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
It's 3-2 right now. Punch the doctor.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment.
4-2.
The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geths swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the Destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
Looks like we're punching him.
That's impossible. Nihlus was with us in the Normandy.
Try to generally be Paragon, but
he couldn't have been here.
We'll get a punch off.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future?
Renegade.
To see the destruction
Renegade.
rushing towards us? To
D-Rock
understand there
chanting
is no
for
escape,
my wife
no
again.
hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard.
That looked like a punch to me.
Oh my God! What did you do?
That might have been a little extreme, Commander.
You can't just go around whacking people in the head.
It was only a matter of time till he did something crazy and dangerous.
I suppose you're right. By the time he wakes up, the meds will have kicked in.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
Good luck, Commander.
Hey, we got Paragon 2 for being nice after we knocked him out. We had 9 Renegade. Oops. Brutal. Alright, let's level up a little bit here. I think I want to get 1 point in everything. I want to get Barrier eventually. Put 1 in Sniper, Hand Guard, Assault, Pistols. We'll keep doing Vanguard for now. We'll level up the other people later. Did that stick? I hear you, Red Blue Man. That's why I'm playing it. I love these games. They're awesome. You should. Play through Mass Effect 1,000,000 times. Yeah, the side missions are pretty bad. You can look up which ones actually matter in the 2 and 3 and just not do the other ones. There's actually not that many that matter in the 2 and 3. Hey, it's our buddy Nihlus.
Saren.
Nihlus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Yeah, I've got all the DLC for all the versions. I'm excited for it. Holy shit! Look at that thing. Look how huge that is compared to the rest of this. That thing is like 2 kilometers long. It's the Wallmaster thing that we saw in the first cutscene. You gotta get some more points in this ability. That's gonna keep happening. You should, D-Rock. This game is amazing. It gets so much better too. Oh my god. Mass Effect. You can get the whole trilogy pretty cheaply now too. And all your choices carry over to each game. Oh, it's so good. Yep. Amazing series. Yeah, 2's a great game.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out, we're not armed.
2 is a Western JRPG. You're going to hear me saying this a lot as we play through it. In that JRPGs tend to be very character-based. Western RPGs tend to be very setting-based. And 2 is all about like building a team and like learning about all the characters and exploring them like a JRPG. It's part of what makes it so awesome.
You're okay now. Nobody's going to hurt you.
That's true. I do miss the planet exploration from 1.
They would have found us for sure.
In
we
2.
owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
We're not hurting anybody. Hell, most of the time I don't even know what's in the packages. Just thought there might be something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it.
So you see this blue highlighted option? This is the charm option. If you go Paragon, the bottom left is blacked out because I haven't put any points in Intimidate. That's the Renegade option. And your ability to do this is based both on the number of ranks that you have in those skills, along with how many points you have in either Paragon or Renegade. So we're going to go with the charm.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right. His name's Powell. Works the docks at the spaceport, if he's still alive.
I have to go.
Good luck.
I make this joke, me and my wife make this joke all the time. Shepard in this game, whenever like she has to leave, she's like, I have to go. I should go. I have to go. That's how she says goodbye, so we'll say that to each other a lot. I have to go. Excuse me, I have to go. Alright, so the storage locker needs electronics, which means I should give him points in electronics if I can. That's how you like hack into it. There we go. Look at all the shit we got. Alright, I'll go ahead and take a quick second to equip stuff because we've got a lot of it now. I'm going to try not to do that too much on stream. We certainly don't need it. We're only playing on veteran difficulty, which isn't particularly hard. I'm just going to try to run through and quickly equip stuff that's an obvious upgrade. Fortunately, you lose that sweet N7 armor pretty quickly. I think that was a good fix. In Mass Effect 2, you always have the N7 armor, you just upgrade it. Ashley is assault rifle. And we'll give him a better pistol. Okay, move along. What's our new codex stuff? Anything special? Ooh, husks.
After the Geth secure a location, they round up and impale dead and living bodies on mechanical spikes. The spikes rapidly transform these victims into withered husks, extracting water and trace minerals, and replacing them with cybernetics. The cybernetics reanimate the lifeless flesh and tissue, transforming the bodies into mindless killing machines. Some Alliance soldiers refer to the husk-generating spikes as dragon's teeth, a reference to the mythological berserkers who sprang up from the earth wherever the teeth of the dragon Eris were planted. Dragon's teeth and husks bear little resemblance to other pieces of Geth technology. No one is sure why a synthetic race would bother to drain the minuscule amount of recoverable resources from organic corpses, though the value of reusing them as shock troops is
No
obvious.
TLDR for that one, it makes sense. They drain resources and then they use them against their own people.
Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of fabric armor with kinetic padding. Areas that don't need to be flexible, such as the chest or shins, are reinforced with sheets of lightweight, ablative ceramic. The outer layer consists of automatically generated kinetic barriers. Objects traveling above a certain speed will trigger the barrier's reflex system and be deflected, provided there is enough energy left in the shield's power cell. Armored hard suits are sealable to protect the wearer from extremes of temperature and atmosphere. Standard equipment includes an onboard mini-frame and a communications, navigation, and sensing suite. The mini-frame is designed to accept and display data from a weapon's smart targeting system to make it easier to locate and eliminate.
The technology in this game is all fairly believable. Like, there is the magic of the Mass Effect. Like, if you were to imagine a new scientific discovery that would enable a bunch of technology. So I think they use it fairly reasonably. The only thing that's kind of pushing it is biotics. Like, your ability to force push stuff is a little bit silly, but I guess they just wanted to have like a mage class and built that into it. The rest of the technology though is fairly believable once you accept the rules of the game universe. They don't really cheat stuff in and say, oh, it's magic technology. Stuff tends to agree with the rules that they establish early on in the game, which I appreciate. It's hard to get that from a game universe.
It's Nihlus.
I don't care if it's Nihlus. I have stuff to pick up.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihlus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks, for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead.
So the only reason I was able to do this conversation tree, there's a lot of branching stuff like this. Because I talked to the other guys earlier, I found them, and then I used the charm option to find out about their contact. That's how I know about this, so I'm going to get something out of it.
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch! We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Forget about him. He's not worth it.
You're lucky the commander's here, pal. Hand over those grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
Yeah, okay. There is something else I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all
Sorry, I
this.
should mute when I'm typing. I've got a loud, clicky keyboard. Oh, you know, I might not be allowed to take my helmet off yet. Can I? Oh, I can. Okay. Okay, cool. Moving along. Yeah, we went to all this trouble to make a custom Shepard together on stream. We'll vote on her appearance. I'd like to see her. Rocket troop. See, I'm in trouble, but I can pause the game and throw. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That shaking is because I haven't put enough points into sniper rifle yet. There we go. Oh, that sucks, Sean. Yeah, that's. I would put my points in there first. For that exact reason. SNES 9X is your best bet. ZSNES if you're doing net play. I am. I'm on Xbox because I have all my downloadable content on here. And it's all really good, so I want everyone to see all the downloadable content. all carries over into Mass Effect 2 and 3 as well. There's one thing in Mass Effect 1 downloadable content that doesn't pay off until Mass Effect 3.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
I think so. The SNEX 9X both of those are fine for streaming. SNEX 9X is a little bit easier. It hooks into game capture in OBS a little bit more easily. It's pretty smooth in ZSNES, not so much in SNES 9X.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Depends on how close you are. It would be tough to do while streaming, since you're not playing from like someone else's server, you're loading directly, and when you're streaming you're also doing a bunch of upload at the same time. Yeah, my aim is too crappy right now for me to seriously attempt that. Let me let my metagel regenerate so I can pick them up. Useless party members, right? Holy shit, be more careful. I'll wait for a second my metagel to come back. Oh, you can't use the 360 controller on the PC version? That's shitty. I didn't know that. Shields to come back, and I'll throw a grenade. There's one left, right? Yeah. But I don't have Singularity, because I'm a Vanguard. When Andrea played, she went full Adept, which is the full Mage class. Now when we switch to Mass Effect 2, staying as Vanguard get a much more upfront and close-no playstyle. Like their whole thing is that they biotic charge across the map and slam into people and then shoot them with shotguns. It's pretty cool. Everybody got a unique class-specific ability in Mass Effect 2. Throw is pretty great, man. Oh, there's the husk coming right up on us here. Try to warp it. Like auto detonates their shields. But Vanguard, we voted on. Vanguard won by a landslide, actually. That's irritating, like, especially if they adapted it from the Xbox 360 version, you'd think they would just keep the control option available.
We thought this world was safe until the Geth showed up.
So, Mass Effect 2 does away with all this gear. Like, you see how much loot I get, right? I don't care about 90% of it. So I think the way that 2 handles the loot is much more streamlined. You're more excited about finding stuff. I've done an Insanity playthrough as Vanguard, maxing it out so that you have the invulnerability every time you charge and then getting your cooldown so low that you can just charge constantly. Infiltrator is really good for Insanity in Mass Effect 2 and 3 because they get the cloak. That's okay, we're only playing on Veteran here, we're not going to do Insanity. Don't need to have a bunch of game overs and have it take a long time. Have a little bit of challenge though. That's all the item. Like any good RPG, there's clearly an obvious target in front of me, but no, I'm going to look around looking for chests first. Good choice, Sean. Big fan of the Vanguard. Holy shit. Look, this is what happened when that ship took off.
My god. It's like someone dropped a bomb.
That must be where the Geth ship landed.
With that giant cuttlefish hand crawly ship thing, that's what happens when that thing lands on a planet. Cuttlefish.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch her. It's too dangerous.
Right, gotta get the things. Get the things. Get all the things. Alright, so we saw some kind of crazy vision and the beacon broke.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated. contaminated.
Doctor? Dr. Chakwas. I
If
think
your
she's
male
waking
Shepard,
up.
Ashley's here. Check on you. You push Ashley out of the way instead of Caden.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back
My
here
wife
to
doesn't
the
like
ship.
Caden very much. I won't spoil.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta
Later,
waves.
Gogums. Thanks for stopping
I
by.
also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
My wife hates, my wife hates Caden. I hate Ashley. I think we both hate both of them.
I don't want her on my ship.
I'm the captain of this ship, Commander, and I want Williams on our crew.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihlus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best. A living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Hey Ryan, how's it going? I really like how, so like, it's very challenging from a creative perspective, if you're writing about alien races, to find a way to make humans different. Like, a lot of people just go for, oh, they're the catch-all race. They can do anything they set their minds to. I like that for this story, they like, humans are unusually aggressive. Like, they've already expanded to be competitive with all the other races that have been in Citadel space for 1,000 years in like 30 years. It's kind of a cool way to give humans their own bent that makes them different from everybody else.
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology, blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction, whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
I might go a little bit over time today. I'd like to show you guys the Citadel. I'll save there after the first conversation on the Citadel, but we're going to go ahead and explore the whole ship too on the way there.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander. Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. It doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines. We stick together. And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck.
It's been a hell of a shakedown, Cruz. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not gonna be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah, a lot of biotics are. We're not restricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because
See, that's custom dialogue because we chose to be a spacer. Grew up in the military. If you picked another one, he wouldn't say that.
I was a regular Navy brat. I got a little more noteworthy than the folks expected.
Oh, that's right, the Blitz. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you,
So that whole dialogue tree was specific to being a war hero and a spacer.
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander. Joker's waiting for you on the bridge.
Citadel is artificial gravity created by the centrifugal force of the station rotating. It's basically it's a kind of colony or structure called a Stanford Torus. Let me give you a link because this is actually kind of cool. This is something that could really work. Check this out. It's you build a space station. It's basically a big tube, and you make it spin, and when it spins, it generates the artificial gravity.
The Citadel is an ancient deep space station, presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community. 5 arms, known as the Wards, extend from the Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell. For as long as the station has existed, an enigmatic race called the Keepers has maintained it.
Cool. So Protheans built the Citadel. It's basically impregnable. It's a Stanford Taurus. Lots of people live there. It's the center of galactic government. Lots of mass relays lead there. And there's this other race called the Keepers that maintain it. We haven't met yet.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
I didn't forget about Jenkins AMA. He's the Porkins of this game, and so named Leroy. Was it? He has like an actual first name, but his middle initial is L for Leroy.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
That's it. Alright, so this explains the Alliance Military Vocational Code system classifies the career path of all serving personnel. 1 letter and 1 number. All 26 letters are used. Numbers run from 1 to 7, with 7 being the highest. N is the special letter code for special forces, like Marines, basically. So the fact that Shepard is N7 means that they're the highest level of Marine. There you go. Do I have a primary on biotics yet? Let's do that first.
Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to element 0. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system.
Alright, so element 0 is like the unobtainium, like the magic that makes the Mass Effect work. And we're going to learn more about it later. But they're saying that if you're exposed to element 0 and you get these amps installed in your brain, that's what lets you do these cool like force style abilities where you are either using telekinesis to lower the mass of things to make them levitate or fall, or you raise them to block things, or use distortion to knock things around, like that warp ability we have. Thing about biotic amps, it's technology that's put in your brain. If you're already a biotic, it makes you better at it. There are L3 implants that are much better. Caden has the L2, they give him headaches. Yeah, my wife is full on renegade. Not totally, like she's not like outright evil, but
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. That means a lot from you. I've never met anyone who was awarded the
We
Star
got that
of
for being a
Terra.
war hero.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out. And you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks,
Right.
Commander.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy.
Will do. I leveled up recently? No. So people gave this game lots of shit for having elevators instead of loading screens. I think it's fine. I mean, obviously we're by ourselves right now, but later in the game, whenever you're in an elevator, all the party members talk to each other and you get some flavor. But it got so much shit for it, it was blown way out of proportion. Like, they just got rid of them and had loading screens in Mass Effect 2, which I thought was a shame. Oh, Codex entry?
The Mako infantry fighting vehicle was designed for the System Alliance's frigates. Though the interior is cramped, an M35 is small enough to be carried in the cargo bay and easily deployed on virtually any world. With its turreted 155mm mass accelerator and coaxially mounted machine gun, the Mako can provide a fire team with weapon support as well as mobility. Since Alliance Marines may be required to fight on any world, the Mako is environmentally sealed and equipped with microthrusters for use on low-gravity planetoids. The Mako is powered by a sealed hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell and includes a small Element Zero core. While not large enough to nullify the vehicle's mass, the core can reduce it enough to be safely airdropped. When used in conjunction with thrusters, it also allows the Mako to extricate itself from difficult terrain.
Cool, so the Mako's a cool, like, Land Rover thing. The Mako's a really cool feature of this game that they cut in the future Mass Effect games. I think is a shame. It's kind of neat to explore the worlds. I think Andrea
Hey, Commander.
was
Looking for some extra supplies
suggesting
before
that
you head
earlier.
out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander. Looking for supplies?
Not right now, thanks.
No problem.
Biot Omni tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small three-dimensional objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in.
So I think this would have used the phrase 3D printing if Mass Effect had existed before 3D printing really started to become a thing. But that's basically what it does. Is it's a little 3D printer, and it can do all kinds of things, like be a screwdriver or whatever you need it to be. They use it for hacking and stuff like that. Yeah. So there is a romance scene in this game that is extremely, what's the word? Not chill. It's subdued. It's subtle. It's not a big deal at all, right? Like God of War is orders of magnitude more offensive or revealing than this game is, and Fox News freaked out. They had this whole campaign about how Mass Effect was just an alien sex simulator, and that the whole game was about going around and having sex with people of the wrong genders, and it was a mess. It's like one scene that's optional part of the way in the game. It's maybe 30 seconds long, but man, did Fox News have a field day about it for no reason.
Shame about Jenkins, Commander.
Okay, we got some more codex entries. Let's see what's up.
Biotic, when subjected to an electrical current, the rare material dubbed Element Zero, or EZO, emits a dark energy field that raises or lowers the mass of all objects within it. This mass effect is used in countless ways, from generating artificial gravity to manufacturing high-strength construction materials. It is most prominently used to enable faster-than-light space travel. EZO is generated when solid matter, such as a planet, is affected by the energy of a star going supernova. The material is common in the asteroid debris that orbits neutron stars and pulsars. These are dangerous places to mine, requiring extensive use of robotics, telepresence, and shielding to survive the incredible radiation from the dead star. Only a few major corporations can afford the setup costs required to work these primary sources. Humanity discovered refined Element Zero at the Prothean Research Station on Mars, allowing them to create Mass Effect fields and develop FTL travel.
Cool, so there you go. EZO, rare material, powers the Mass Effect. The game is so named. Mass Effect is basically a thought experiment. Someone says, hey, what if we could harness dark energy? We have no idea what dark energy is. This is an actual scientific mystery today. There's two big ones, dark matter and dark energy, and obviously other mysteries, but in astrophysics. They're not actually related, despite their names. Dark matter is this missing matter in the universe. There's all this extra gravity that we can't account for with things we can see. So that's not what this is. This is dark energy, which is the mysterious thing that's causing the universe to drift apart. So they're saying, hey, if we could control that, if we could lower the mass of objects, increase the mass of objects, what kind of things we could do with it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I agree, Matt. I like that original path. Without spoiling for anybody in chat, we got a lot of people who haven't played it.
Element Zero can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low-mass fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High-mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low-mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high-mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The military makes extensive use of mobility-enhancing technologies, with Mass Effect utilizing fighting vehicles standard frontline issue in most military forces. Mass Effect fields are also essential in the creation of kinetic barriers or shields to protect against enemy fire.
Red Master Race if you don't have the ending fixing DLC. Opt out Master Race, Super Master Race if you do have it. But we're not going to say anything more specific than that. Yeah, so EZO is pretty cool. Mass Effect fields are pretty cool. You know, if you accept the buy in this game is that you accept that there's this like magical material called EZO that lets this happen. But other than that, once they establish those rules about Mass Effect fields, pretty much everything follows those rules. There's nothing that's like space magic-y outside of that. Opt out is number one. What? I gotta be careful if I'm using chatty. It doesn't actually delete it on my screen, it just crosses it out. Yeah, I agree, Matt.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Okay, so this is kind of cool. I'm actually just going to read it. So real-time communication is possible thanks to networks of expensive mass relay convoys that can daisy chain in transmission via lasers. Remember, big problem is that although we have these cool mass relays that can let us jump physically from one location to the other without having to travel there at the speed of light, which would be very slow, we can't do that with communication. So if someone's 1,000 light years away, the best thing you can do is beam a laser at them, and it takes 1,000 years for it to get to them. So my frames just drop. So there you go, a failure of lightspeed communication. Yeah, okay, I'll give it I don't know, 15 seconds and I'll continue talking about this. Anyway, if you shot a laser with information into space 1,000 light years away, it's going to take 1,000 years to get there, right? So how do you guys communicate? That's what this thing answers. So there's convoys are maintained in patterns built outward from every mass relay. They're a little more than a cluster of primitive miniature mass relays. Each buoy is connected to a partner on another buoy in the network, forming a corridor of low mass space. Tight beam communication lasers are piped through these tubes, allowing virtually instantaneous communication to anywhere on the network. The networks connect across regions by communication lasers through the mass relays. So that's how they solve the communications problem. They have these little buoys around all the mass relays that you can send stuff through. The only communications delay is the light lag between the source or destination and the closest buoy. So long as all parties remain within half a light second of buoys, seamless real-time communications are possible. So they really had to answer this question like, okay, this is great that you can be anywhere in the galaxy. How the hell do people communicate with each other? I think we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so with this system, the only delay is the distance from you to a buoy. You can have real-time communications. It's cool that they actually bothered to answer that question. Ships only suffer communication lag when operating off established deep space routes around uninhabited outer system gas giants and other settled areas. Thanks, Matt. That's good to know that it's not just me. I won't call Comcast and give them shit. During wartime, convoy networks are the first target of attack. Once a network is severed, it can take anywhere from weeks to years to get a message out of a contested system. In systems where a Bowie network has not yet been built or has been destroyed, rapid communication means ferrying information through high-speed courier ships and unmanned data drones, which is something I don't think ever comes up in Mass Effect, but that's such a cool idea, right? That like there's like this war and your main target is to knock out the Comboies, and now you have to have like scouts and physical ships, like, you know, Pony Express dudes who travel through the mass relays and carry messages around because the Bowies are busted. I should still call Comcast and give them shit, I agree. Yeah, so if you like diving deep into the codexes, we're going to be doing it for the whole game. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. Every codex, I was like, my wife, when she was playing, I was like, Andrea, you need to read the codex. And she's like, do I have to? And I said, okay, fine. Well, you need to at least open the codex and let me give you a TLDR each time. She's like, okay, fine. I think she was happy for the experience. Matt, I think I played the first one like 80% of the way through and didn't play any further than that. I hear the subsequent ones are quite good.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
The size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an out...
All right, have a good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. If you're tuned back in, I'll just read that. Tomorrow is 12 to 2, Final Fantasy 6. 2 to 4, Mass Effect. 4 to 6, Final Fantasy 7, beating it. Saturday is Splatoon. And then throughout next week, we're doing FF6, FF Tactics, Okami, Mass Effect, and the live Beat Sprite tutorial on Wednesday. Have a good night.